Welcome back to the Outreach Project family. It's Josh.
Zach.
It's Alton.
Welcome, Alton.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Wow. You're a big fan, aren't you?
I'm a massive fan. I've been listening since day one. And
Wow.
I haven't missed an episode yet.
What was your
All
favorite
6 of them.
What was your favorite episode?
I had to be the Drew. Drew episode was definitely my favorite one.
That one was so chaotic.
I think that's my least favorite. I know Drew's... maybe he's not anymore.
I doubt
favorite.
Drew's listening.
I think that was my least favorite.
Why?
I like getting to know new people. And not that this is going to suck either, but...
Oh, yeah. Am I going to be like the second worst? The second least favorite podcast?
This is going to be in the B-list category, not the A-list.
No,
stuff.
it's all good. It's all good. Welcome, Alton. This is my best friend. Grew up together. Childhood brothers. Yep. When did you move here? How did we get to know each other?
I moved here in 7th grade from a lot of different places. Moved around a lot as a kid. And I met you in social studies, 7th grade social studies, I think. We had a class.
The bus, football bus.
Football bus as well. I met Zach in football.
Yeah, I remember you were the quarterback for 7th grade football.
Backup quarterback 7th and 8th grade year. Got a couple reps in. They didn't go too well.
TJ got hurt a lot. So
He did,
Yeah, you were in a lot for him.
I was a valuable asset to that team.
Yeah, no, that was cool. It's cool. Where all of you lived?
I've lived. I was born in Evanston, Illinois, so north of Chicago. Moved to Montana. Lived in Tennessee, El Salvador, Costa Rica, here, and Aurora, Illinois is where I currently
Why did you just casually say El Salvador and Costa Rica?
No.
Tell us about those places.
So if you're not familiar with it, it's in Central America, so south of Mexico.
Do you want to point at it?
On the map, right here would be El Salvador.
So right at the bottom of Central America for all of our listeners, not viewers.
Yeah. And I lived there. I was a missionary kid, so my parents were missionaries, and lived in El Salvador for 5 years, and then we lived in Costa Rica for a year to learn Spanish. So yeah, that's kind of why we moved around a lot.
That's cool.
You're pretty fluent. Not pretty, but fluent in Spanish.
Yeah, I've lost some fluency, but where I go to school at now, there's actually a lot of people from Latin America, so I talk to them sometimes. Have some teammates that speak in Spanish. So.
Yeah. Do they know you speak Spanish yet?
Sometimes. I don't like to talk about it all the time because I don't want to be the guy that's like, oh, yeah, I speak Spanish. I like to kind of just bring it out subtly.
No, and you can listen to people talking and they don't know you know.
I remember Spanish class. I'm not going to name drop the teacher or anything. But I remember Spanish class, you getting told that you were wrong when you lived and spoke Spanish fluently in your country for
Did you get a B?
5 years.
I might have gotten a B in Spanish. Not to name drop, obviously, but I did not get along very well with the Spanish teacher. Zach was around for that.
It was fun times, honestly.
That class was a fun class.
It was fun, but I didn't like it at all.
No.
We just messed around the whole time.
Dude, I think the way we were in class versus how we are now, like if we were to go back, would be so much different.
Yeah.
We might actually be liked by some of the teachers.
Respectable.
I think our character was liked. I don't think our work ethic was.
Yeah, I've had my siblings, when they come through, I always ask them, like their teachers know me, they're the same teachers, and it's a mixed review. Some teachers like me and some don't.
Yeah, it's okay. You're not going to get along with everyone in the world.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So where are you at now?
I currently go to school at Aurora University. I'm in my 2nd year there, and I wrestle there, and I study business and exercise science there as well, double major.
Yep. Where is Aurora?
It's an hour west of Chicago, so it's like the last suburb, like the last train station stop on the Amtrak, I think it's called.
Yep.
Did I get that right?
I don't know.
I think so.
Come on. I think I got that right. Hopefully
right.
I don't get exposed in the comments.
I don't think anyone from Chicago is listening.
Okay.
So
Unless we bring it to Chicago.
We're taking it to Chicago after this.
that'd be cool. Jordan lives in Illinois, so we could.
I think
he's in Southern Illinois, which like
That's all we know about Illinois.
I'm pretty
Chicago.
sure he's like really far from Chicago.
So, like Illinois and Indiana are pretty much the same state, but Illinois has Chicago instead. That's like the only difference.
Chicago's its own state, though.
Basically,
it should just be a state at this point.
Yeah, because Chicago is nothing like Indiana, but the rest of Illinois is the same. A bunch of corn, a lot of cornfields,
corn and beans and cows, baby.
Yeah. So, growing up as a missionary kid, you were obviously growing up with religion, with Christ. Mm-hmm. You want to talk about getting to know Christ, though? How'd that look for you?
Yeah, so, I mean, obviously it's a journey your whole lifetime, but I kind of grew up in the church, obviously, since my dad, before he was a pastor, so before we got sent off to the mission field, he was a pastor at a small church in Montana. Like, the town was about 2,000 people total, so it was like a tiny church. So I kind of grew up as like the pastor's kid, kind of, in that regard. And then, but you're always at church every Sunday and grow up in that environment. But I feel like you hear a lot of people kind of get stale when you grow up in it. And so I've kind of been working on the last couple of years making my faith my own, especially living on my own, because it's like I don't have to go to church on Sunday, right? Like my mom or dad isn't going to yell at me, so got to really make that my own faith.
Yeah. Yeah, you have your own responsibility. You have to be dedicated and disciplined, definitely on your own.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, how's that looked going to Aurora Faith? I know you've taken some guys on your team to church stuff.
Yeah, it's been pretty cool to kind of get the wrestling team is really small because it's in its second year now. So my last year was my first year at the school and the first year of the wrestling team. So it's kind of been a lot of the kids are my age. There's not a lot of upperclassmen. So it's a really tight-knit team. At the end of the season, we only had like 8 guys, so super small. And I hadn't gone, hopefully my parents don't watch this, but I didn't go to church a lot the first year I was out of school. And but the second year I really wanted to make that an intentional thing to go every Sunday. And I asked some guys just to see if they wanted to go. And now I got 1 or 2 guys that come with me pretty regularly.
Was that scary to ask them?
A little bit, but I just kind of felt led to do that. I don't know. Okay. It might be a little corny to say, but...
No, it was on your heart, felt it.
Yeah.
There's definitely a feeling. God might not speak to you, but you can definitely feel it at times. Mm-hmm. That's pretty neat. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did they say yes right away?
Yeah, the one guy I'd known, we'd grown pretty close throughout the year. His name is Zane, and he was on it, and he really enjoys going to church, and he'd actually told me he kind of fell out of the faith. His family had kind of fallen out of the faith, so that was really cool. Because now he even texts me, like, are we going to church on Sunday? Like, where are we going to church? Oh,
that's cool.
So that's really
That's
cool.
accountable, too.
Yeah, that's big. And then, so... I don't even remember what the question was.
No, how the other guys are responding to you asking.
Oh, yeah. And so, so after that, it was just me and him going, and then some other guys heard about it, and they're like, oh, I just haven't been going to church because, like, it's kind of hard when you're not at home to go to church. You don't know where to go to church, right?
Yeah.
So me personally, I don't know much about Aurora. What size school is it? Like, is it a private school, public school?
Yeah, it's a small Division III school, so it's about 4,000 students, so pretty small. But Aurora, the city, it's the second biggest city behind Chicago in Illinois.
Is it comparable to Fort Wayne, Aurora?
Yeah, it's about the size of Fort Wayne.
Okay. So like a PFW, kind of. Maybe a little smaller. It's a lot smaller than PFW. Like an Indiana Tech.
I don't really know if you could compare it to
any
Fort Wayne school. It'd be more like a Wabash, but that's not even in the area.
Is it like a community college? Like
D3.
No, it's a D3.
Mm-hmm.
It's private. I don't know.
Yeah, it's private.
It's residential. It's in like a residential area, so it's similar to that. So Fort Wayne colleges in that regard.
Like how Ball State and stuff's in a residential area down there, but it's just a school.
Just like a part of the city. Yeah.
And you guys have a hockey team. baseball.
Yeah, they got all kinds of sports. Football. Their football team is actually pretty good. We made it to like the quarterfinals of the Nationals. So
What
cool.
division or what league is it?
League. It's NCAA.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Division 3 would be NCAA.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's NCAA and then NAIA and JUCO, which is junior college.
oh, that's cool. Yeah. So, as you've gone to Aurora, how has God spoken to you specifically, or worked in you, or what's He taught you?
I kind of talked about it earlier. It's just important for your faith to be your own, right? Because I mean, your parents aren't going to make you go to church, and like your parents aren't going to make you read the Bible and stuff. So it's just important to make that your own, like to have your own devotional, go to church every Sunday. It's kind of just basic, just kind of. So I feel like I'm kind of starting over in a way.
No,
Just relearning. I just opening the Bible and reading stories you've never heard before. When growing up, I felt like I knew every story in the Bible.
yeah. No, I think growing up, there's the repetitive stories, but
And I think it's cool even with those repetitive stories as we grow up. Like when we went back over Daniel, like learning, actually going deep into the book of Daniel was really cool versus just like Daniel's in the lines. Then as we learned as a kid, so it's really cool to. I mean, I feel like we're every day I'm starting over, learning new stuff that I never picked up on as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So, a little lighthearted, more like, who are you? Like, what do you like to do? What do you like to watch?
I'm Alton. I really enjoy fitness, exercising. That was probably a big passion of mine. Wrestling. I've been wrestling for the majority of my life, and that's been a big part of what I like to do. Family is an important part of me as well. I'm really close with my dad and siblings now. I've kind of, as I've gone away from college, grown closer to them. So I think those are some stuff about me.
Yeah. Morgan Wallen guy?
Yeah, I like Morgan Wallen.
What's your
Morgan
favorite?
Wallen fan.
98 Braves, right?
98 Braves is probably my favorite song.
Have you heard the new album?
No, I haven't listened to it.
You haven't listened to the new album?
Yeah, no, I haven't had time.
Do you like Morgan Wallen?
Yeah, I like Morgan Wallen.
Dude, if you like Morgan Wallen, text us. that's the text us of this episode. Text us your favorite song of the album. We'd love to hear it.
I can't think of anyone that doesn't like Morgan Wallen.
He's such a likable guy.
Gabe, if you're listening, I don't understand how you don't like Morgan Wallen.
I don't know Gabe, but
It's messed up, isn't it?
I can't believe he doesn't like Morgan Wallen.
Nah, I love Gabe. He'll be up soon, maybe.
Man.
We got an episode with him, kind of stored away. But growing up, you went to First Church when you moved here.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about your First Church experience, what you were involved in, the youth group.
Yeah, so when we first moved here, we kind of bounced around different churches throughout the area trying to find a church. And then I don't remember why. We just probably came to First Church one Sunday, and I knew a lot of people there. Like I knew Zach and Josh, obviously. And so that was pretty cool. And I really enjoyed Collide and just the atmosphere, especially Matthew Cable was the adult leader when we were in middle school.
Cable.
He was awesome.
Yeah, I miss Matthew. But that really drew me in, and then I had a lot of experiences. Went on the West Virginia mission trip.
That was a good trip.
Yeah.
Was that the last one before COVID?
I think so.
Was that pre-COVID?
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was the last mission trip that we went on as like a youth group before
As a
COVID.
student, yeah.
That was like...
That was our sophomore
Going in,
year.
going into senior.
No.
It was going
sophomore year.
because COVID was going into
Because we
senior
missed our junior and senior mission trips.
We missed 2?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
We were on the same like little group, weren't we,
Yeah,
Zach?
we did the sidewalks.
Yeah,
in the dirt.
remember
You
when
guys in Brooks, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Remember?
jeez.
I forget why, but we got in I don't even know if it was an argument, where we went on strike for a little bit, and then we came back and we just went off, and we exceeded the goal they had for us. We tripled.
You went on a mission trip strike.
Yeah, well,
that doesn't sound.
We got with
at
a
all.
little disagreement with our next step leader, and so we went on strike for a little bit. Well, then we're you know what? Screw this. We're gonna exceed their goal. So we dug because we had to hand dig the whole sidewalk. We dug I want to say 50 feet past what we were supposed to dig. We dug a crazy amount in one day.
Yeah, because there was it was a lot of just athletes, so we just started going off.
Yeah, we had
was Brent your leader?
Yeah.
Did he go on strike?
I think so.
I think he was. It was definitely validated. I don't remember why.
there was a really good reason why.
No,
we did.
I think it was because we hit our goal in the first hour. And
I remember. We shouldn't say it.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's not why we went on strike though. We went on strike because I think it was something like that. We got done really fast, but then we got told to stop, and so
That sounds stupid.
no, it was really dumb why we did it. But we got told to stop, and then they told us to go again. And then we were no, we're going on strike. And then we're just screw
That
this.
sounds really dumb.
No, it was really stupid
I'd be
why we
furious
did
if middle schoolers did that.
it. It was so dumb.
We weren't in middle school.
I know.
We were sophomores.
You should have known better.
It was so dumb why we did it, but we did it. And then we
did it.
And then we just started singing "Dig" the rest of the church. Just dig.
Yeah, we just yelled dig in different ways and start laughing.
So dumb.
We wrote them on the notes and put them in each other's bags too.
We'd just say it the rest of the mission trip. It'd just be dig, 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 dig.
Shopper was in your group.
It was Shopper. I think Reese Barron was in our group. We had a bunch of athletes just went
who else was
insane.
in that group? I remember Weston Story was in that group. Brooks.
I could
any
find
girls?
the picture later.
I don't think there were.
No, there was. There was 5 girls or something.
Were there? But they wouldn't. They just stood off to the side and watched.
No, okay.
They helped with the wheelbarrows, I think.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That
That
was a fun time.
winter retreats we were talking about earlier, me and you.
Yeah.
Those were awesome. Those were a
Winter
blast.
retreat. That was middle school. That was the trip to be on.
Any trip with Matthew Cable, that guy was really good for us.
Matthew Cable had great energy.
Yeah.
He I don't know if I'd be who I am today without Matthew Cable.
For sure, he's definitely been.
He had the energy, but also
he knew when to get
maturity
serious.
and he respected us enough to correct us without being the overbearing adult.
He gained our respect.
Yeah.
Which was hard. It's hard to gain a middle schooler's respect.
Yeah.
Wow. I kind of forgot about him.
I didn't forget about him. We just haven't shouted out yet.
It's been a while.
Yeah, I haven't seen or heard
He's a
from him
missionary
bit.
in Africa now. Which
Wait,
is
Yeah.
what? I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
him and
his family.
moved to Africa as missionaries.
That's awesome.
So it's pretty cool.
Well, they worked at the Gold Lake Ministry before and after First Church. We're taking students there next weekend,
Yeah.
so that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, Zach and I are leading a winter retreat.
That's crazy. We're getting too old. We're too old, man.
We're leading our second winter retreat. Did we led one last year?
Winter
too?
retreat.
Yeah.
You guys are veterans. It's not even the first time.
Zach lost a kid.
You don't need to talk about that on this podcast.
What went through your head when you...
No, the kid got on the ice.
No, he didn't go on the ice.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
So the middle schoolers were at the sledding hill, and the high schoolers were at the broom ball courts or whatever.
This wasn't the place
This
we
wasn't
would go
Spring Hill.
to.
This was a different place.
Okay.
But so the middle schoolers were walking back. I wasn't even with the middle schoolers, so I didn't go up to the hill because I had stitches in my knee at the time. Mm-hmm. But I didn't go up with them. And they were walking back, and this kid wanders off with another group and starts playing
On the ice.
It was on the broomball court, not the lake.
It was frozen on the ice.
It was on... Anyway. But he wandered off and started playing with them, and we all went back to our cabin to get ready for the first session. And we're like, where's this kid? And so me and Josh we have to go walk around and go find him. And he's walking up to the cabin, or to the chapel or whatever, as we're going through. And we're like, where were you? And he's like, oh, I was just with them. I didn't know the group was gone or anything.
He acted like it was just all good and normal.
didn't even...
Which it was. He was fine. But
Yeah.
Did you have to do anything? Did you have to be like, don't do that?
I mean, we had to say like,
stay with us.
stay with the group.
You put him in timeout or something?
No, I just kept an extra watch.
Well, it's triple counted. Make sure that he was there whenever we moved.
No, I'm really excited for this trip.
I am too.
Actually,
Next weekend.
Jeez,
Next weekend.
Yeah,
dude.
It's a little late.
It's the winter retreat in March.
It's a little late this year.
Yeah, I don't know. Wasn't our planning.
When was it? When we were in middle school in like December or January?
Like January, February.
We had like a December one year. We had Januaries and Februaries. It really just depended on what week they could get us up there.
How did winter retreats impact you, Alton?
They had a huge impact in me as a younger kid.
Student?
Yes, as a student. I remember the worship. That was the first time I really enjoyed worship as a kid. I remember I don't know, least favorite part of church. It was prior, but kind of like it showed me the importance of worship and how you can really be engaged in worship. And that was the first time I I was actively worshiping, like with my hands, like putting my hands in the air, and kind of like felt the Lord move through worship.
Yeah, no, like I think middle school boys, like, you think you need to be cool and you just stand there, don't sing.
Yeah.
Which you don't need to worship in that way to worship. Mm-hmm. But it's a beautiful thing to sing for the Lord. If we can sing Morgan Wallen, why can't we sing for the Lord, you know?
Yeah, that's definitely something I've grown to appreciate more is worship, the worship part of the service.
Yeah, for sure. I know student ministries too, Collide, youth group, whatever you want to call it, growing up. We had a pretty good worship Sunday nights, just students. We still do now, but I think that's an important part of youth group because you get to worship with your community alone, but you also get to be more comfortable. Like, hey, my parents aren't in here.
It's a lot less intimidating when you're with just a bunch of middle schoolers and high schoolers versus everybody that goes to the church and the service.
Yeah,
people you don't know. Like, it's cool. Yeah. How did the mission trip impact you as a student?
A mission trip, it was definitely interesting because, like I talked about earlier, I was a missionary before, and so what we did there was we kind of had like a facility there where teams would come in. We called them teams, like groups of high school and people just from churches, and come in, and then they'd do whatever project they were assigned to do that week. So it was kind of interesting to be like the full circle now. Like I was on the mission, right? And not hosting the people. So that was pretty cool. And then it was like that we talked about earlier, the story. I still remember that, like digging, and it was just fun to serve that way, have fun just helping people out through manual labor.
Yeah, growing that community and fun with fellow like-minded individuals.
Yeah, and that definitely was like, it showed me the importance because we weren't allowed to have our phones, and I remember that's kind of a big deal for high school me, and I wasn't too happy about that, but then it showed me like the importance of just being in silence,
being in the moment.
Yeah. And I don't think I think it was on a winter retreat, or maybe it was on that where they like sent us out and into the nature, and you just had to be in silence. And I think that had to have been a winter retreat. Yeah, it was some event, some first church event.
It might have been like a weekend thing.
Maybe a fall retreat, maybe.
Fall,
yeah, it was a fall retreat.
Oh, yeah, fall
we
retreat.
went down to Muncie.
You two went on that.
Yeah, that's another
that was a fun
memory.
Trip.
Remember the pentathlon? What did we call that?
Dude,
oh my goodness.
You called it the pentaculus.
The pentaculus.
Yes. So we were there wasn't like a lot of scheduled events or anything. So we had it was a lot of just like community time and hanging out together.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah, the funny part though is it was just me. The only guys there were me, Zach, I think Braden, Jordan might have been there,
and Tom Jagger.
I don't think Cam was there.
No, he wasn't.
And then there was Brent Cox.
And I think Aaron was there too.
Yeah, and then it was a bunch of girls, so we were just kind of
So
isolated.
there's like 5 guys. We're up in like the.
That sounds like your high school dream.
We were up.
we're just gonna move on.
We were upstairs, and we had to like sleep in like the nursery of like the church. Well, the room was so cold that we were freezing every single night. But anyway, back to the Pentaculus. We did like a triathlon, but it was 5 events. We did like volleyball, something. I don't remember. Ping pong.
It was a bunch of table games because they had a little
ping pong,
rec
Papa
area.
shot, and then the last event was a Pop-Tart eating contest. And it was so much fun.
Brent mopped the floor with us.
Brent like destroyed all of us.
It turns out he's really good at ping pong.
Yeah,
really
he
good
is.
at table football. What's that called? Foosball.
Brent destroyed us like every single game, but it was so much fun. I'm pretty sure half was like coughed up the Pop-Tart because it was so dry.
Oh my. Parents are going to be listening to this and not want to send their kids with us.
No, it's super
definitely
fun.
send your kid to fall retreat and winter retreat and the mission trip.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Zach and I were leaders on the mission trip last year to Cleveland.
Oh my! You guys are the leaders of everything.
They let us go to Cleveland with some middle school kids.
Yeah, maybe don't send your kids if you're with Josh and Zach. But
Hey, there was other leaders too. We weren't the like main ones in charge.
No, it was really fun. And we would totally be fine.
yeah, I'm just messing. I'm just playing with you guys.
No, middle schoolers are a different animal.
Yeah, it's
A lot of patience.
Yeah. Sometimes I see middle schoolers and I'm like, I can't believe I used to act like that. Or I used to dress like that. Or like, a picture shows up. I was like, what was I thinking?
Bright neon outfit.
Yeah, middle
From head to
schoolers.
toe.
I'd have
you're
basketball shoes on.
Everywhere, no matter what.
Yeah,
Always a pair of
I
basketball
wore my
shoes.
LeBrons everywhere. No question.
I would wear
Shirt.
like full LeBron outfits, just my Under Armour slides with socks to the knees.
Yeah.
You'd go outside in the woods with your LeBrons on one night, on Saturday night, and then the next morning you wore them to church as dirty as they were the
Well,
night
dude,
before.
we would have like 5-6 middle schoolers like sleep over at our houses and just all go to church the next morning and just like be so just grimy.
Yeah.
We're wearing each other's socks and all that type of so bad.
Yeah, I remember whenever I'd spend the night at Josh's, the alarm would go off and it'd be like 9:30 a.m. and it'd be like 9 a.m. and he'd just hit snooze, and then like 30 minutes later, another alarm would go off, and we'd slowly have to wake up, and we'd been up since like 4 playing 2K probably.
Dude, I'm gonna expose our middle school selves.
Oh no,
Dude, fake it.
oh no,
Is that account still up?
It might be.
I went on a journey, like I sent you it months ago, of like Dude Fake It fan pages.
I think
So-
It was.
I'm gonna expose ourselves even more. That was me.
You made the dude fake
I
it fan
didn't
page.
even know that.
I thought it would make us famous.
So everyone listening,
Yeah, what is dude fake?
Dude Perfect was like our.
Dude, perfect. I watched a lot
It was
of
our
Dude
idols.
Perfect.
I'll say
Yeah.
it. I know we weren't supposed to have idols, not anymore, but
Yeah,
that was our idol, man. Like we looked up. To
Don't
them.
say you. If you're listening, you definitely listen. You watch the trick shot compilations they made back in the
Oh
day.
yeah,
I
everyone.
love Dude
everyone
Perfect.
listening.
Or the skits.
Yeah,
Sometimes
they
I
know.
still
They
watch-
know about
I
Dirt
still
Perfect.
watch Dude Perfect.
Oh, I still
to this
watch
day.
every video, but
Every video.
oh yeah,
I don't watch
overtime.
every video.
I love overtime,
I
but
like the stereotype.
Is that the podcast
ones.
they have?
No, it's
like
just,
their show.
it's kind of like a pod. It's like a game
But-
show.
The Dude Perfect game.
But anyways, we love Dude Perfect. Me, Alton, our buddy Andy, and our buddy JT created an account called Dude Fake It, and we just faked the crap out of trick shots.
There were some real ones. We had some real trick shots.
No, we didn't.
There was a couple.
Like, if you didn't know it was fake, I don't think you would. I don't think you would tell on some of them.
You guys would be like behind your house, throw the basketball on top of the house, see it hit the roof, and then jump cut to the hoop out front and going through the
Yeah,
hoop.
so that was like
That's totally real.
That was bad.
That was during like Vine, and I remember I would see Vines where they do like because you could like pause in the middle of the recording and then do like the
Jump cuts.
the jump cuts, and so I thought I could do that
I
too.
wonder if we still. If we still have a video,
I pull up because we didn't have MacBooks, so we'd use my mom's computer, and I edited the videos. And so when I like signed in, this was like a couple of years ago, and I saw like all the videos were on the desktop. I was like, oh no, I couldn't watch those.
Send me some of them. I'm gonna throw them on this.
I got you.
Some shorts.
My mom and siblings are watching them, and I just had to leave the room. I couldn't.
Like recently,
about a year ago.
Oh no!
It was. Dude, I don't even remember.
We had our like flat hats.
Yeah,
like we're the stereotypical middle school boys, like socks to the knees, like red shorts and maroon shirt.
And we would go crazy when we hit the shot, just yell.
Because it was hard to do it, even if it was fake. It took us all day.
We'd just be running around all over the place.
We got yelled at a lot.
Yeah, we were pretty. That was crazy.
Dude, funny. Fake it.
Dude, fake it.
I'm pretty sure the Instagram's still up.
It's got to be.
Like you can still watch. Some
I think
of the videos
we deleted
on
most of the videos,
but there's still some up.
Yeah.
Well, on National Trick Shot Day in 8th grade, we got 5,000 views.
That was crazy.
I remember that. That was wild.
Because we put like the right hashtag on there.
Hashtag National Trick Shot Day. Oh yeah. But anyways, back to growing up. I was Salvador. What did you do there? Like daily? What was your day to day?
So that was 1st grade through 6th grade. I lived in El Salvador.
And you're the oldest of
of 4.
3 others.
Yeah, yep. 3 others.
Before you talk about El Salvador, tell us about your family. Like, what does that consist of?
So I have my dad named Ricardo. Richard. People probably know him as Ricardo. Then my mom, Jennifer Shinneberry. My parents are divorced. And then I have 3 younger siblings. Felice, she's a junior in high school. Arrow, he's a freshman in high school, which is pretty crazy.
Arrow's a legend.
Yeah. Arrow's pretty. There's a lot of Arrow stories.
We can't share the Arrow story.
I have an Arrow meme on my phone. Did that says anything?
Yeah. And then I have the youngest. Her name is Raquel, and she's in 7th grade.
Okay. And what did you guys do in El Salvador?
So, as kids, we went to private school because the public schools weren't very good, and it was pretty cool because it was called, the translation of it was the international school. So there was kids from all over the world because they have countries that have their embassies there. So people would be from like Argentina, just all over the world, like Spain, Italy. Like one time, one of my friends, they were from Italy, and they invited us over, and they were like, had homemade pizza and stuff, and he was like, "This is not Papa John's," and stuff like that. And
I clip that.
And so it was a pretty cool experience with that, and you'd have 2 classes a day that'd be in Spanish, and you'd learn about like the El Salvador like history. That was one of the classes, and then the other class that you'd have in Spanish would just be like learn like English class, but for Spanish. And I was involved with the mission. I'd be a translator, so the groups would go out. I forget what. I was trying to think of what the exact word we called it, but we'd go and kind of just spread the gospel, right? Go to different houses in these remote areas because it is a third world country, and it's a very dangerous country as well. A lot of gang violence in the area. And so I would go with the teams, and we'd go and just see how we could help out in the area, and I'd translate for them. So that was a pretty cool way to be involved at a young age. And then the other ministry we had was towards the end of our time there we had a shoe factory that was where we employed ex-convicts. So that was pretty interesting. So like as a kid, I'd go to the shoe factory, and my dad would have me and my siblings folding the shoe boxes to be sold, and it was like what's that, Payless. Okay. But like Payless was a big deal in El Salvador, so it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
And that like makes you very culturally aware at a young age.
Definitely gave me a lot of perspective at a very young age.
So the mission was just spreading the gospel through the country.
Yeah, and it took. There's just a lot of different forms that it took. different ways that you would minister to people, because it's not just as easy as going out and just preaching it on the streets, right? There's other, like, you want to build relationships with people. So like one way is that there was a football league there. They had a football team, like a contact football team.
Like soccer or American?
No, like American football. And so my dad was the head coach of this contact football team.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
And there's like the El Salvadoran league is like 6 teams. And I mean, I don't remember. I didn't know how good they actually were because I was like 10 years old. But that was one way. And like there was a flag football league. So we had a team there and we'd play with that. And then there'd be interns who'd come in from churches throughout the country and stay at the base. I don't know if you can know the campus we had.
Yeah. What was your home like?
It was interesting because it's all everything's gated pretty much in the part of the city that we lived in. It was a big city, about 2 million people, so a lot of traffic. If you think traffic is bad in big cities here, it's so bad out there, like just sitting
worse
at a
than
standstill.
Chicago.
Yeah, worse than Chicago, because they have you guys know the roundabout, what roundabouts are.
Yes,
And
been
so
driving before.
I remember like during rush hour, we'd be like trying to go to a restaurant on a Friday night, and it would just be, you'd be sitting in a roundabout, just sitting still. And then you just like drive a little bit around the roundabout and then stop and just sit there for a couple minutes until you could finally get to your turn.
Wow.
So,
where the roads weren't as nice, I'm guessing.
the like sidewalks would be all torn up and stuff.
That probably had a lot to do with it, the traffic lights and.
Yeah. I don't know exactly what I weren't driving.
Yeah. What did your parents do there?
So my dad he started it was called Envision, and so he started it all, and then my mom was just a part of that as well, in a partnership with that.
Part of the vision?
Yeah, the vision. That's a good one. Clip it.
I'm not
No.
Oh my
That's cool.
gosh.
That's cool. So, you have any questions for him? Or?
Do you have any questions for us?
What does community mean to you guys?
That's another episode. We already touched that with Drew. Go to episode 3 if you want to hear our answer to that question. But let's talk more about you, less Christ, more of you. What's some shows you like?
Interests, hobbies.
Some music,
teams. I have a question, but Josh doesn't like when I ask it because it's went bad before.
Just you answer.
All right. I'm currently watching season 3 of Outer Banks. I was invested in it during COVID, so I just got to see how it plays out.
Kind of trash.
Yeah, it is pretty bad.
Season bad?
I stopped it after episode 1. Man.
Wow. It isn't that good, but
they got a 4th season too.
Is it coming out with a 4th season?
4th.
Oh my gosh!
So if this season's bad,
I think this is probably my last season. If I make it through,
I'm probably gonna
end up watching.
You know what's gonna happen? They're gonna get the treasure taken away. They gotta go find.
I feel like I've watched it. It's just the same thing over and over.
Yeah,
but that's how TV shows are. I feel like
you're into sports, fantasy.
Yeah, I like football. Watching football, basketball. I'm really big into that.
What are your teams?
The Colts and Pacers.
And Clemson.
Yeah, my grandpa went there to school there, and he grew up in South Carolina, so he instilled that in me at a young age.
He's a big fan.
He's a massive fan. He wears Clemson everywhere.
That's awesome.
Everywhere he goes.
Really nice guy.
Yeah, he's an awesome guy.
Yeah. So as we close, we ask all of our guests, if you had one more trip, what is your dream trip?
Dream vacation.
I know you've lived everywhere, so I'm
not really any places he wants to go.
I'm expecting a really quality answer.
I would probably. Oh boy, where would I?
We need to know who's coming, how long, what you're doing.
There's like a month limit though.
A month-long limit. Yeah. And there's no spending,
no
anything money limitations.
No money limitations.
The only thing is we don't want you could hop around to Europe, but not go from Europe to Australia to. We don't really mess with that.
It's got to be realistic.
somewhat realistic.
Just answer the question.
I'd probably want to just go around Europe, honestly, and just because I haven't been to that continent, so kind of see what that's like.
That's what's up.
Pretty lame answer, but
Who are you going with?
got to take all the boys with me.
What about
Like the
family?
boys.
No?
I mean, I feel like you got to have either the boys or the family
You do.
because it's kind of hard if you're going to do both in a trip.
You could fly the boys out for 2 months in the family, or 2 weeks.
Yeah,
in
if
the
it's a
family for
month
2
long,
weeks.
yeah,
Something.
do a little bit of both.
I don't know. I'd like the boys.
Yeah, just a month long boys
Yeah.
trip.
Yeah, you golfing, you hiking, sightseeing.
Obviously golfing.
You playing St. Andrews in whatever country that is?
Scotland.
Scotland,
Yeah, Scotland.
probably. I don't know. I don't even know if I'd be good enough. I'd probably get kicked out.
It's a dream vacation. You can play. You can play there if you want
You
to.
can dream being good.
I can dream being good too. I'd probably go, golfing, hiking. I've started to get into biking as well, mountain biking. So I'd probably want to do some of that.
What about the beaches?
Beaches, yeah.
That'd be cool.
I used to surf back in the day
Where at?
when I lived in El Salvador and the beaches,
That'd be fun.
but I haven't surfed in a while. I probably would suck at it.
Dude, speaking of water, Alton tubed with a broken thumb. Like all summer with me. And he didn't find out. And then we went to Michigan and you jumped off a bridge
Yeah, I had
with a cast, like a hard cast.
Yeah, so
Was that the TikTok era of Josh? Because I remember seeing videos
That's
of you guys.
the trip
was
I
TikTok
took-
era,
Oh.
Josh.
I remember seeing a video of you with a cast on, just jumping into, like, running into the water and stuff.
I broke my thumb wrestling, and I just thought it was jammed really badly, so I didn't get it checked out for a while, and then I had to eventually get surgery on it. But Josh had invited me to go to the Upper Peninsula with his family for like a week at the end of summer. I was like, I still got to go to this, even though I had this cast on.
Yeah.
And I went, and there's this bridge you had to jump off of, and
You have to.
and-
Did you have to? Or
If your boy jumps off the
Yeah.
bridge,
Was it like
you
a
have to.
like a rite of passage up there? Like
It
you gotta
was.
jump
You
off
had
the
to.
bridge.
It's different.
Now there's
up
a
there.
wall. You can't jump off it anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. So see, I would have never jumped off there. You never know when it's your last chance.
No, people have like died jumping off it, like breaking their neck because it's so shallow. Dude, we saw a kid run across the road, like dive, and
Yeah, there
belly
was some
flop
crazy
onto the
stuff
ground.
going on.
It wasn't the water.
Yeah.
That's painful.
But I had a big cast on it, so I had to put a plastic sleeve on over it.
And we like duct taped it.
Yeah, and then Josh's parents were like talking about, "Oh, don't tell your parents, don't tell your parents." And then when my mom picked me up, I think his mom or dad like instantly brought it up.
Oh, jumped off a bridge.
Nah, and she was fine.
But yeah, it wasn't
was
a
all
big
good.
deal.
No, that was so fun. That was the start of the TikTok era.
TikTok.
Fortunately for us, it's taken down.
Yeah,
We're
we don't
good.
need to
Yeah.
talk about that era.
We're good. You viewers, you cannot see the TikTok era, and we're changed. We're
Yeah,
we're not the same.
it might have been the worst era, one of the worst
it
eras.
was fun, but
Yeah.
yeah. Well, thank you for coming on, man.
Yeah, it was
Appreciate
fun.
it.
Thank you guys for having me. It was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, we've been looking forward to this, talking about it.
Yeah.
Alton was actually, I think you saw like an episode that said if you listen, text us, and then you shot
Yeah,
me
I
a
did.
text. Yeah, so if you're listening, text us your favorite Morgan Wallen song of the album, please.
Or favorite song in general if you don't like Morgan Wallen, which you're wrong if you
yeah, we don't
like
want to
him.
hear
but-
from you
Yeah.
if you don't like
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
If you don't like Morgan Wallen, don't text.
Or if you don't like
all
Morgan
the
Wallen, just
viewers
tell us you don't like Morgan Wallen.
No, well, I'll be interested to see who does like him and who doesn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's wrap up. Thank you guys for coming on. Thank you guys for listening, viewing, wherever you do it. You can find us on Instagram, send us an email with questions, comments, concerns, and if you even have feedback like you want to come on, we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, just DM us on Instagram
Or shoot the email
shoot
and
us an email. I don't know
and the
if
link.
that's available anywhere, but
yeah.
we can figure that out. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching. This has been the Outreach Project.
Peace.